Hello everyone, it's me, Dr. Dawn with Family Renewed and the ABCs of Family Resiliency, bringing you our next installment of Applications of the Week. This month, we've been focusing on the art of communication because communication is essential to healthy relationships. And if we want to have that positive space in our world, we need to figure out how to have healthy communication. Now, so far, we've discussed the 5 elements of communication, and last week we focused on the channel of communication. Now, the channel of communication is really talking about like verbal or nonverbal, but it's really the nuance of communication that helps us understand the context of what the message is that we're sending. This week, we will be focusing on the challenges that are leading to ineffective communication. And next week, we'll be focusing on simple strategies from the ABCs of Family Resiliency that you can use to help your family have healthy communication so you all can thrive and not just survive. Now, technology and the advances we've seen in technology have made a huge impact on communication. Yes, it has provided more means and opportunities for communication, but it has also provided an element that lacks context. So for example, when we think about social media, or we think about the different applications that we have that we can communicate on, texting messages, games that people play, emails. Unfortunately, although these provide opportunities for communication, they don't really allow for the context to be transmitted with the message, as you have when you are speaking with someone face to face. Oftentimes, the sender uses different strategies to try and convey that context. Unfortunately, if the receiver does not receive the information in the context that the sender meant for it to be sent, everything can be lost. And a big issue is that many times people respond defensively without understanding the context or taking time to get feedback in order to understand that context. Headlines in the media are a great example of how people can manipulate information. So many times in a headline, they'll use a few words to try and let somebody know what the article is talking about, but it can be very misleading. And once you read the article, you understand what they were really talking about, but the way that they use the headline throws you. Many people, unfortunately, don't go and read the whole context, and they just read the headline, think they know what it's talking about, and make assumptions about it and have that in their everyday language. And it's in the same way that oftentimes people send messages that don't lend itself to the entire context of the discussion, and things are missed. And then when the receiver gets the wrong information, confusion hits and negativity spirals, and we get drama, which is what we're seeing in our community. This negativity that we see is impacted by the silos and the echo chambers that we're all in, because we only kind of hear things from the perspective that we're coming from. And then if we're in our silos and echo chambers, that information just kind of resonates within us, and we go down a certain path, and we're easily dragged down that path because we're not hearing or understanding context to really get a valid understanding of the conversation. This is happening at work. This is happening in our families. This is happening in our media, in our country. And so we've got to do a better job of communicating accurate information, especially as we're seeing the AI coming. We don't know what's really real and what isn't. And so we've got to do a better job in order to understand and interpret the information so we can have those healthy relationships that we all want. Now, over the past few weeks, I have given you homework to try and help you start really thinking about the way you're communicating with people at work or at home, the public, with strangers. But again, really trying to take a concerted look at how you communicate and the differences you use. And I asked you to look at how you're communicating with different people and who you communicate better with, and really think about what you do differently in those relationships or those interactions than you do with those people that you're struggling with communication. And try and figure out different things that you can do or what you're doing differently. Again, these are going to be some of the clues that you'll be able to use as I start and give you next week some simple strategies that you can use to help you create that healthy environment that you want and that we all want so that we can thrive and not just survive. Now, I hope you will join me next week on our applications of the week. If you like what you've heard and you feel it has been helpful, I want you to subscribe to my channel, and then I'd like you to Like it and comment and share it with your friends to help them start thinking about how they're communicating so that they too can have effective strategies that they can use to have healthy lives and healthy families. And we hope to see you next week. Thank you and have a great day.